I was American born and I'll die in American.
Welcome to our group. Welcome to Defenders 7. Defenders 7 has so much knowledge, and this ought to show it right here.
Do you or someone you know suffer from depression? If so, please contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Defenders 7 Monday night broadcast with your host, Colonel Kimberly PURVIS, and I'm your co-host and General of the Defenders 7, Bobby Ormsby. Welcome. Now, before we get on with our show, I need to read our disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on Defenders 7 radio show and Facebook page are those of the callers and or authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the Defenders 7. That out of the way, we have another great show for you tonight. We're touching on history again. As all of our shows here, especially with Colonel Kimberly PURVIS, does an excellent job. Very informative. We make it fun. We make fun of each other. It's a real show. All of our shows are real, very real. You have to have thick skin to be around us, so to speak. Now, for those of you new just tuning into us, we do have a website. And you can reach our website by typing all lowercase letters, www.defenders, Roman numeral V as in Victor, with 2 small i's.com. Now on our site, you'll see we have a store, and we also have a donate button. The only way that the Defender 7 can make anything possible to help our communities throughout all 50 states is by sales and our donations. Because all 100% proceeds that we get off our sales from the store and any donations go right back to our communities. Disaster relief effort, when disaster hits, when shit hits the fan, you name it. That's how we're able to do what we do. So please, by all means, help us to help you and your community in a time of need. Purchase something from our store or hit that donate button. We love you and thank you very much for all of that. Now we can be reached on our national Facebook page by typing all capital letters, Defenders 7. Now, before you click that join button, we let everybody know that we expect all of our members and future members to participate throughout everything we do in the Defender 7. That's face-to-face meetings, which we call meet and greet. That's meeting your community members and fellow Defender 7 members to learn who has your 6 when shit hits the fan. So by all means, join us. We're always looking for good people. We do train in disaster relief and survival. But if you get in and you feel it's not for you, you may. And there will be no hard feelings. In the Defenders VII, we are not just a Facebook group. We consider each other one big extended family, and we treat each other as such. So everybody's opinion matters. Now, for tonight and all the nights that we do our shows here on Blog Talk Radio, we enjoy it when you interact with us, participate, and that number to call, area code 914-205-5773. Again, number to call to participate and interact with us, area code 914-205-5773. Now, before I turn the microphone over to our Colonel, your host, Kimberly Purvis, I just want to put another shout out to the Caitlin family. I'm sorry, I just had a brain fart. The Caitlin Akins family from Spotsylvania, Virginia. She's a missing person, has been missing since 2015. So any of our Virginia listeners or members in that area, if you would, please pass that word out. That's Spotsylvania, Virginia. And we will be doing a search this coming weekend that we volunteered to do with We Can Bring You Hope, which is sort of our sister company with the Defender VII. So we will be doing that search on Saturday and Sunday. And so please, by all means, let's get the word out. If you'd like to pass her flyer around, go to wecanbringyouhope.org or on their Facebook page, WCBYH. I appreciate your time on that, and I now bring in our Colonel, your host, Colonel Kimberly Purvis. And on the line, we also have our captain from Wisconsin, Miss Lorna Munson, a.k.a. Slacker.
Yeah, okay. I got it because I'm on the show all the time.
What are you trying to say, Lorna? We have no life?
Yep.
Dude, I really think we have no life. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm working on at the same time while you're doing your little spiel. I was about to hit the roof here because I couldn't get our YouTube channel, and I'm trying to find out where I can add the link to the Constitution on our page. And it sucks being technologically challenged. It really sucks. So we decided to go ahead and and start covering the Constitution because of, in light of everything that's going on right now. And believe it or not, a lot of people, I don't know. So please excuse my ignorance, but I don't know everything there is to know about the Constitution. So that's why we looked it up. I have it in front of me, and we're going to go over it. And if you, perhaps anyone knows that's like an expert in the Constitution, give us a call. You know, enlighten us more on what we could just find in front of us. So, and I'm sure all of us old folks who's a Gen X and older, you've had to have seen Every Day After School. And I can't remember if I saw this at school or just at home on TV. You know what I'm talking about. Schoolhouse Rock. Have you guys seen Schoolhouse Rock?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
You've never watched Schoolhouse Rock? You know, I'm
an outdoors girl. I'm Capitol Hill. Well, I mean, when in Florida, they actually, I believe they did teach us in school, but it's that little cartoon of the bill, and he says, "I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill." Yeah, that. They've stopped all of that, and it's a shame because these kids today don't know shit. And I'm sorry, but they don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and start it off, and I think what would be what I'd like to do is just read the preamble and then go right straight to the amendments. And once we get done with the amendments, it's not gonna be tonight. There's no way in hell we're gonna cover this in 1 week. Then we'll go back and cover the articles because there's a lot of articles. And right now the important thing to really cover is the amendments. So I don't know if everyone has watched the news reviews. I only watch Newsmax, and even if I find something on Newsmax, I will always research it to get every angle of it. I'm not going to just stick with one source. Which kind of leads to that. And I was, I think I've ticked off one too many snowflakes today. So I've been told I was an idiot, and I had the mind of a squirrel. And I said, "Excuse me, I have the attention span of a squirrel. Big difference." I told it. Oh my God! I'm telling you, Bobby.
You're just a bully.
I'm not a bully. I don't put up with shit and ignorance.
Exactly, and that's all of us here. We're just like you, and you know what? You can't take it. Go find your safe space in your mommy's basement.
See, here's the thing. When someone told me, they said that white Americans are nothing but Europeans who colonized America. They colonized this and that and the other. And this is what they said. I said, okay, but Europeans are white. And they're like, that's when they called me an idiot and said I need to Google and do your research. I said, I did, and I showed them the link, and I looked it up. Europeans are white, or they're Caucasian, with just a little bit darker skin depending on where they're at. So if you're German, Italian, I don't give a crap where you're from. You're Caucasian. You are not black. You're not brown. And so I told the person, I said, before you actually put a comment down and tell someone to Google, they might want to Google it themselves. So, and I don't use Google. Bill Gates and what's his face, demon-looking child there from Facebook, and Twitter, I believe, all have a say in Google. So I only use DuckDuckGo. So, okay, enough of that spiel.
So I'm sure everyone knows about the Constitution, whether or not you've read it. You're going to hear it right now, so pay attention. And did you post the nice fancy copy on our page?
Not yet, babe.
Okay. I'm going to try and figure out how to get it on Facebook. On our YouTube channel. If I have to make a damn video of it, of me just sliding it really slow, I'll do it that way and make a damn video. Make a video. So here it goes. It says, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution of the United States of America." So, but like I said, we're going to skip because the first article has let's see how many. It's got quite a few. Damn. 9, 10, has 10 sections, and then Article 2 has 4, and Article 3, and it goes down Article 4, 5, 6, and 7, and all that cool stuff. So this is the First Amendment. Everybody says, my First Amendment rights, my First Amendment rights. Well, here's the thing. If the left has a First Amendment constitutional right to their blah, 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 migraine headache listening, it's like listening to oh, God, what's a boy band from back in the day? I don't even know right now. The Jonas Brothers, okay? Then every conservative has the right to voice their own opinion. So the First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof or abridging the freedom of speech or the freedom of the press or the right of the people to peaceably to assemble and petition the government for a redress of grievances. So when Chris Cuomo made the comment, since when does a protest have to be peaceful? Right there in the First Amendment. Peaceful, not violent. So all of the by all means, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You have the right to peaceful protest. But when you start destroying other people's property, that's when it becomes a problem. You don't have the right to destroy federal buildings or the police departments, the police cars, or anybody else's. So I hate it for you guys on the left. You don't have the right. So you guys have anything to add about the First Amendment and the freedom of speech? And the same thing goes for freedom of religion. We have, and it's not to keep government and religion separate. The First Amendment is to keep the government out of religious practices. And that's what people don't understand. But Bobby or Lorna, do you have anything to add about the First Amendment or your opinion?
No, I got nothing.
Free beer.
You got nothing? Free beer. I know. Okay, so we're going to go on to the Second Amendment. And I think I have to go down and I've got 2 copies I'm going off of, but I think one of them is kind of an abridged version because that was kind of short. Let me get to it. I thought it was longer than that. So the Second Amendment is a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. I don't see how the government can misconstrue what that says. We have the right to bear arms against a tyrannical government. It has nothing to do, hunting and stuff, that's got nothing to do with what they're speaking of. We have the right to bear arms and protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. And that's what we have right now. And I don't care what your opinion is. It doesn't really matter. Because if you're paying attention to what's going on, we have a tyrannical government that's telling everybody what they can and can't do. And that's a whole other argument for later. The Third Amendment, no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but a manner to be prescribed by law. So now I'm taking this as just say a civil war does break out in America. No soldier that's going around, whatever, has the right to come and take over your house. That's complete crap. Now, unless you want to let them stay in your house, that's okay. And that's exactly what I would do. Well, it depends on what side you're on. I'd say to kick rocks. But that's pretty much. And no one's really, they're not really trying to touch the Third Amendment. It's the Second and the Fourth. Well, actually the First, Second, and Fourth Amendment that's being challenged right now. And the Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue, but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. See, the left thinks that all conservatives are gun-toting Nazis, white supremacists, fascists, and all this crap. And we're all boo-hoo crying about the Second Amendment. We're not crying about it. We're pissed because they're trying to take our guns unlawfully, unconstitutionally, because they don't know an AR-15 from an M16 to an M4 carbine. They have no clue. And it shows. But what's happening is with that new bill, there's two bills actually that the House has pushed through, and that's where if you get into a fight with your ex, all they have to do is call the police and say my ex is suicidal, homicidal, whatever, and they have a house full of guns. They could come into your home and take every single one of them, and you have to prove that you're mentally stable to have them. But here's the problem. It's going to be a federal psychiatrist or whatever, whoever they use, and they're not going to give them back. They're going to make up every excuse under the sun. And with the red flag laws that's already on the books now, you could get in a fight with your neighbor. Don't matter. And it could be an outright lie. They could be wanting to get back at you for something. If your tree is hanging over their fence. And that's what people need to understand. So, and the Senate better not pass these two bills because it's absolute crap. Now, don't get me wrong, and I'm pretty sure everyone here in the group has the same belief. Mentally unstable people should not have any type of weapon, like schizophrenics. I'm trying to think of, I'm talking severe mental incapacity.
Like
people
Lorna.
that have made threats. Like, but you know what I'm saying? People that are homicidal or suicidal should not have guns. They really shouldn't. And we agree with that wholeheartedly. But here's the thing. Not every mass shooting is by a mentally stable person. And that's already on the books for the law, for your background check. They already have that. People that, on social media, if they denounce their citizenship, say they hate America, they want to kill the president, they want to do this or that, yes, those people, by far, should never be able to own a gun. As a matter of fact, it is a question on your when you go to buy a gun, whether it's a rifle, a shotgun, or a handgun. They ask you, have you denounced your American citizenship? You say yes, you don't get one, and you're flagged forever.
Yep.
So,
one thing, I'm sorry for breaking in, but one thing
go ahead.
about that too that pisses me off is if you're in an emergency situation, in an emergency room, whether it be especially the VA, but even outside, that, say you're having a bad day and you're sick, and they ask you that question, do you feel depressed? And if you say yes, automatically they're telling you got to give your gun rights up.
And that's not right. Just because you're depressed.
No, it's not.
It doesn't mean crap. You could have just lost your spouse, your grandparent, your dog. You could have just lost your house, your job. Of course you're going to be depressed. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't be able to own a gun. And, might I add, they have no right to ask, and I'm sorry, they have no right to ask your exes how mentally stable you are.
No.
And now, here's why I say this. Now, this can actually go two ways, if you think about it. If you have a disgruntled ex, and if your divorce was messy, or your breakup was messy, you know damn sure that they're not going to say you're mentally stable. They will find any means necessary to get back at you for leaving them. Both of my exes would do that. In a heartbeat. They hate me so bad that that's what they would do. Now, on the other hand, if you really are a mentally unstable person and you're paranoid, schizophrenic, bipolar, I'm trying to think of other, if you have multiple, and this is a joke, guys, when we say this, if you have multiple personalities, for real, not the joke that we have between us, people,
yes, Kim and
people who
Kim
have
and
DID, shut up.
I do not.
For real, though, people who do have dissociative identity disorder really shouldn't have them, because under stressful situations, see, when someone has dissociative identity disorder, it's not like they come out willy-nilly if they have more than one. Normally, it's under a stressful situation. So, you like you're driving down the road, and all of a sudden, I don't know, Sybil, we're going to use Sybil, for example. She was batshit crazy anyway. If you ever saw the movie Sybil, you'll know. She's not going to pop her ugly head out. Yeah. We joke about it because I have all these names in my family. But seriously, your alter ego is what people call it, is not going to come out and run everybody over. No, it's not how it works. So, it's when you're in a stressful situation. So say you get into a fight with anybody, and it stresses you out to a point that your alter ego has to come out. They could come out, get your gun, shoot the other person, and then go back, and you have like what they call a blackout. If you guys have seen the movie Identity with John Cusack, and there's like eight or nine other people, they all share the same birthday and everything else. What it is there's a guy who killed an ungodly amount of people, but he had no idea that he did it. He had all of these other alter egos. And what I'm saying is then you plead insanity. So, anywho, the Fifth Amendment, no person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia, when in an actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. So when you hear people say, I plead the fifth on an account, I might incriminate myself. That's what they're talking about. I'm trying to think of, because I've never really read into this. Do you have, Bobby, would you have any other? I mean, everyone has the right to due process. And an example of that would be the fake second impeachment of Trump. When they went willy-nilly through and pushed that through the House, they had no witnesses, no evidence. President Trump did not have an attorney present. He was not president. So right there, there was a violation of his due process. So that's exactly what it means. You have the right to a fair trial and all of that, and that's pretty much what it means, unless I'm wrong. Bobby, care to address the Fifth Amendment? Care to address the Fifth Amendment? I mean, is that pretty much? You plead. Also, I believe it's spouses cannot testify against one another in a criminal case, and I'm wondering if that's the Fifth Amendment also. Like I said, I'm relearning all of this, but as far as I could see, so I guess you can't testify against yourself. So the prosecution can't say, if they have proof that you committed a crime, they can't put you on the witness stand to prove that you did it. That's not how it works. Also, the double jeopardy. Go watch the movie Double Jeopardy. So if you're convicted and serve time in prison or jail of a crime that you either committed or did not commit, tried again for a second time for the same thing. Just say you fake your death and you make it look like your spouse did it. All right. And that spouse goes to prison, serves their time. They get out. And they find out you're still alive. They can by the Constitution, can go and shoot you right between the eyes, and you could drop dead, and they can't do a damn thing about it, because that's called double jeopardy. So, but you actually have to be convicted of it and serve time in order to say, because if they, come on, guys, if they bring it to court or to trial, and it's not an appeal, but, oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? I know I've watched enough SVU and Law and Order to know if they dismiss it, the prosecuting attorneys can actually get more evidence and then retry you. See, that's different. There's a big difference in the two. One is you were tried, convicted, and you did your time and get out, and they end up finding more evidence that you did something else. No, it's too bad, too late. They can't retry you for the same crime.
Right. It has to be dismissed with prejudice.
Without prejudice. That's it. Yeah. That's like, but here's the thing. Just say, we'll just pick a politician. See, Pelosi. She's been brought. They've had to take her out of chambers for being drunk while she was doing her job, well, pretending, whatever. So say they took her out. And, I don't know, because if that happens, if she gets convicted, if they get convicted, they can no longer hold their job. So, say you're a manager at a store and you steal money from the register. Say you steal $100. And here's the thing. You get tried, convicted, you do your time, you get out, but you stole money on a different occasion. They can actually try you and convict you for the other offense. You see what I'm saying? Do you see the difference between the two? They cannot try you for the same exact offense that you committed on that particular day at that time. So I had to clear that up because, yeah. The Sixth Amendment. Okay. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature of the case and accusation, to be confronted with witnesses against him, and to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Perfect example of that right now is Derek Chauvin, the cop who's being tried right now for George Floyd's death. Now, here's the problem. They're not doing his trial in the city that it happened, I do believe, right? Did they go somewhere else? Do you guys know?
Yes, they did move it.
Because it would be impartial. It would be an unfair trial.
No, it has to do with safety. I believe. I could be wrong.
No, that's part of the thing. If they're not going to get a fair trial in, it's just, where did it happen? Was it Chicago? I have no idea where it happened.
Minneapolis.
Huh?
Minneapolis.
Oh, okay. So he will not get a fair trial in Minneapolis. I don't care what anybody says, because
and I can't remember what.
In order to pick, I
can't remember where they moved it to.
But see, in order to get a fair jury, he's not going to get one because of the people may know him personally, so they can't. I mean, you're not going to have a fair jury that way. But you're also you have the right to a speedy and public trial. But here's the other thing, and Bobby, you may have to correct me if I'm wrong on this. With what happened on January 6th, right? They actually have people in jail right now, and they're being held without bail, without everything. And they could be held there as long as the government wants to keep them there until they're ready to take you to trial. Now, and I know that goes to the military too, right? I believe they can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's you could bitch and moan and complain all you want. I want a speedy trial. No, it don't matter. You're not getting it. So they have the right to do that until they sort through all the evidence. And I've actually heard at Times Square there was nothing. This person did absolutely nothing wrong, and they still held this person without bail. Didn't matter.
And that was that one lady. I don't even remember what the situation was, but they threw her in prison to silence her.
Yeah, and the government does that. And I'm sorry, they do that to hide their dirty little secrets. So, and you also have the right to have witnesses to testify for you. I do know that in our the later we get into technology, they're able to test more like the DNA and to make sure 100% proof that it's you or not you and all of that. So, which is a good thing, so they don't put the wrong person in prison. Okay, I'm not sure about the Seventh Amendment. In suits at common law where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of the trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States. I have no clue what the hell that means. Like I said, if anybody has any experience with the Constitution, give us a call. I honestly, I have no idea what the Seventh Amendment, what that's speaking of. You guys have a clue?
No.
There's not cliff notes to this, by the way. Apparently, they made sure that you knew what it was.
Is there pictures? Is there pictures?
No. See.
Well, then I have no clue.
Okay, hold on. What does the Seventh Amendment mean? Look at there. Cliff notes for stupid people. Really? I asked what it means, and it just reiterated what I just said. There's no explanation. Okay, here. What does it mean in simple terms? Okay. So basically what it means is it guarantees a jury trial for civil cases in the federal courts. That's what it means. In layman's ignorant terms.
In Warner term.
Sorry, Jack. The Eighth Amendment is straightforward and to the point. You ready? Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments afflicted. Now, there should be what you call it. They need to redo this amendment, and I kid you not, except for pedophiles, rapists, and murderers of heinous crimes. That's just my personal opinion. If there's, and I know Alexa's had this discussion, I believe in the death penalty. Not just for the average Joe Schmo down the road who broke into Walmart and stole $1,000. No, that's stupid. Let him do jail time. I think the death penalty should be kept for heinous crimes like Jeffrey Dahmer. Come on, Manson.
Pedophiles.
Well, I don't know. I meant like another person. Like another. Who else is up there? John Wayne Gacy. I mean, people that commit heinous, brutal murders. Those people are executed. Yeah,
Charles Manson, that's a different situation because he didn't commit murders, but he had his people do it.
Didn't. Exactly. So that's just it. He may never have done it, but they proved he convinced other people to do it, which is just as bad. Which is what they call it, not guilt by association. If you, I can't, for the life of me, I can't think of the term. If you antagonize, you can be just as guilty of it, like gang rape,
conspiracy to commit murder, or something like that.
Yeah, if you've not facilitated the crime, but shit, I can't think. But like I said, like on gang rapes, I've seen so many of these on SVU and Law and Order, all these other shows. You may have held the person down, but never committed the crime. You are just as guilty as the person who did it, because you didn't try and stop it. is what I'm talking about. That's what Manson did. So, but also, yeah, you're right. Pedophiles, child molesters, rapists. No, if there's 100% irrefutable proof that you did it, caught in the act, there should be no 1 year on death row. No, instant. But say your goodbyes. Boom, you're done. Sorry, that may be harsh and too much for some people to understand.
They don't get a year.
But
a year on death row. They get like 20 years.
Well, they can, but I'm just saying some people don't. Like I can't even pronounce the kid's name. You know the two brothers who bombed the Boston Marathon, the Boston.
Oh, right. Yep.
The youngest one is on death row for 20 years, and I don't know if they took him off of death row, but. No, the son of a bitch deserves to die. He does not. No, that's terrorism, straight up. So things like that. No. But that's just my opinion. Everybody else may have a different opinion on that. But see, that's the luxury of the First Amendment. I'm allowed to have my opinion, and you're allowed to have yours. And see, I welcome discussions with someone who's on the opposite side of the aisle, so we can discuss our differences. But if once you get into a heated argument with me, that's it. I'm done. I don't have anything else to say to you because there's no point in that. Yeah, sure. The Ninth Amendment, the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. Sure. Bobby?
Yes.
Would you happen
Preview.
You want to chime in?
Chime.
Chime, yeah. Would you happen to have any clue?
I'm sorry, but I missed what you just said.
The Ninth Amendment is the enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people.
Right.
Yeah. So we are going to our famous Google search and find out what it means in idiot terms. So, okay. Here's the idiot version, which I'm just as lost. It says, so the Ninth Amendment basically states that there are other rights that may exist aside from the ones explicitly mentioned already. And even though they are not listed, it does not mean they can be violated. Yeah, sure. I'll circle back to that one. Ha-ha. If you know what I mean. I'll circle back to that. Yes, there's not really there's not this is a simplified summary. My ass. I am so sorry, but it's not simplified. Yeah, sure. Guys, by all means, chit chat while I find out what the hell the Ninth Amendment means.
I would, but Lorna's sleeping.
I'm not. I can't find my damn buttons.
Operator error.
Oh,
Operator
okay.
error.
So,
I'm not sleeping. I couldn't
okay,
find my button.
when the United States Constitution, listen, I think this is it. Okay, when the Constitution was first sent out to the states to be voted on, people known as the Anti-Federalists argued that there should also be a Bill of Rights. However, another group known as the Federalists did not think it was necessary. They worried that putting it in the Bill of Rights gave power to the government, specifically discussing what the government could not do. That's pretty much what it means. Yeah, sure. I mean, let's see, modern use. In modern use of it, it's basically used to stop the government from expanding its power rather than limiting its power. So right now, the government is trying to expand their power into every state, because this is what Biden had said. I saw the interview that he said that all states have to hand over their power their sovereign power to the government, and the 9th Amendment is supposed to stop that. That's what it means. Good Lord. And the 10th Amendment is pretty much the same thing. The 9th and 10th go hand in hand. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. And so they go together. And what it sounds like is, remember when Texas did when they started that lawsuit about the election, and they said that Texas could not tell Michigan, Pennsylvania, and other states how to do their election? I think that's what that refers to as well. So, okay, the 11th Amendment, the judicial power of the United States shall not be construed to extend to any suit in law or equity commenced or prosecuted against one of the United States by citizens of another state or by citizens subjects of any foreign state. Okay, that's pretty much the same thing, except it's by people. So I can't sue Bobby, well, because I'm in Kansas and you're over there, and I can't sue you for something that you did over there, over here. I think you got to be in your own state, and I don't know. What do you think? All right. We're going to go to the 11th Amendment.
That's just like, you know, how they used to tell us when we were in the military. I don't know if they ever told you, Kim, but they used to say ID card can't sue ID card.
Oh, okay.
You ever heard
I've never heard of that
term?
No.
Well, see, back in my day, in there, that's basically what they used to say. In other words, you know, if you were treated to where it could be a lawsuit, good luck with it, because you'll never win.
Oh, okay.
So that's what they meant by that saying was, ID card can't sue ID card.
Oh, okay. So in simplest terms, nobody can sue a state in federal court without the consent of the state concerned. That's pretty much what it means. So you can't be sued from another, like I said, you can't be sued from another state in your state while they're in another state. It's probably also the same, goes along the same things of extradition. You commit a crime in one state and go to another state. That state can't do shit unless you're extradited to their state. Now, what they can do is try you for your crime in your state and get your sentence, and then they can ship you to the other state, and then they can convict you on whatever you did in that state, and they tack on the sentences. Now, here's the thing. A lot of judges won't allow them to be consecutive, right? Or
right.
concurrently. So say you got 2 life sentences, it really wouldn't matter. Just say you got 10 years at one and 5 years at another one. They don't put them, they would put them end to end. You serve 10 years at this state, then you're going to go serve the other 5 years at the other state. That's the way it should be. They shouldn't run concurrently. They at the same time. That's a load of crap. So, let's see, the 12th Amendment. That's the other thing. With as far as the election, the 14th Amendment and the 12th Amendment it says the electors shall meet in their respective states and vote by ballot for president and vice president, one of whom at least shall not be an inhabitant of the same state with themselves. They shall name in their ballots in person for, that's exactly what they did. And they shall make distinct lists of all persons voted for as president. So basically, what this is saying, on January the 6th, when they brought all of the electoral votes to D.C., and then you had to have a second, and that's why Trump had a second set of for Arizona. I believe he had it for all the 6 states, right? Because all Pence had to do was say, nah, those are illegal. And he fought, see, that's what there's a big disagreement on. And they had to have those, the other set had to be certified, which they were. And that's the way it should have been done. But, and that's why they have to be there on January 6th. They cannot do it past that date. And if the House of Representatives shall not choose a president, whenever the right of choice shall dissolve upon them before the 4th day of March next following, and the vice president shall act as president in case of the death or constitutional disability of the president. The 13th Amendment, oh, by the way, I just found this out, that Tennessee still has slavery laws, that you're allowed to have slaves. The 13th Amendment is neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. They actually have that law in Tennessee where you can have slaves. But in all honesty, I don't know if this refers to prisoners. You know, when you get out on you go to work detail, like how, you know how some jails have the work release programs and stuff? And I'm wondering if that's what that has anything to do with. Or if they're outright talking about slaves. We do have some stupid laws that's still on the books. And I'll share some of them after the show. Because some of them are really stupid. The 14th Amendment, all persons born or naturalized in the United States wherein they reside, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States. Nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. The 14th Amendment right here applies to this damn COVID vaccine. See, that's what it was. they cannot force anyone to take the COVID vaccine. Because Biden came out today and said, when you get your vaccine, you will be entitled to freedom to do what you want. No, sorry. 14th Amendment clearly states you have no right to deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without the due process of law. They can make your life impossible, but they cannot tell you you cannot do something. They cannot fire you if you do not get a COVID vaccine. Sorry, it's unconstitutional. And I want to find out where the person got the paperwork, but there is paperwork about the 14th Amendment and your job not being able to fire you if you don't get the vaccine. And I've got to find it, and I can't remember where it was at. So that was Section 1 of the 14th. Section 2 is representatives shall be apportioned among several states according to their. Oh, okay, so this has to do with California having how many representatives? Was it 54? Florida's got 28 or something like that. So that's what the Section 2 has to do with. It goes by according to how many people live in your state. Now, here's the thing about California. They need to separate California by Northern California and Southern California because all the liberals live in Southern California. And people who live in Northern California are not being represented. Jesus, I can't even speak. What's the damn word? Represented? God. What is the word represented? Id. Is there another id? Shit, I don't know. Sorry.
I thought it was. I always thought it was representation or representative.
You know what I mean? It's northern people who live in Northern California. Their I don't want to say their rights or whatever. It's not being shown because, like Nancy Pelosi, all of these, and Chuck Schumer, they all live in Southern California. They don't represent. Here's the thing. I'm gonna feel like Porky Pig right now. They don't represent Northern California. What I should say, as in, they have more clout than the other representatives. Of Amendment 14 is, no person shall be senator or representative in Congress or elected a president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state who have previously taken oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the state. Let me get to the point. Oh, okay. This is why they tried to impeach Trump on the second fake impeachment, because they said he led an insurrection or a rebellion against the government. He didn't, and they already proved that. So if anybody who's run for office, it doesn't matter who you are, if you led an insurrection or rebellion against the government and or given aid or comfort to now that right there should have kept Biden from being able to run for president, because they've got information on him sending money to the Ukraine, because it says shall be engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. So he shouldn't have been able to run for president, because how many billions of dollars did they give the Ukraine?
Right.
That's Yeah, he shouldn't have been able to run. Okay, so, Jesus, how many? Okay, we've got 2 more sections. So Section 4 of the 14th Amendment. Okay, the validity of the public debt of the United States authorized by law, including debts incurred for payment of pensions and bounties for services in suppressing insurrection or rebellion, shall not be questioned. What? So basically what they're saying is if there's any public debt of the United States and somebody violates the Constitution by giving money to insurgents, it can't be questioned? That doesn't sound right. I mean, it sounds like you could do whatever the hell you want and not have to pay for the crime. Section 4 of All right. Sorry, guys. So it means the United States government was allowed to pay pensions to soldiers participating in the Civil War. Section 4 relieved the federal government of paying for any of the costs or losses incurred by the southern states from the Civil War. Oh, okay. That's what it means. So nobody's alive right now to even have to worry about that. And Section 5 just means that Congress has the power to enforce the other 4 sections. All right. The 15th Amendment. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. Oh, so basically everyone has the right to vote except for felons. Sorry. And that's that other new bill that they're trying to pass, that felons have the right to vote. No, they don't. I'm sorry,
no.
But you committed a felony. You don't have the right to vote. Let's see. So the 16th Amendment is Congress has the right to collect taxes on incomes, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what your payroll tax is, your state tax, your federal tax, your life tax, death tax, and all that crap. The 17th Amendment is the Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, elected by the people for 6 years. And each senator has 1 vote. I'm surprised that dead senators don't vote right now for Democrats. The electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state of the state legislators. Let's see. And if there's a vacancy, like if someone happens to die and they can't finish out their term, I don't know if this would say they can elect somebody else, or if it has to be the same. They make temporary appointments until they fill the vacancy by election, as a legislator may direct. So that's all that means. Good Lord. Okay, the 18th Amendment. After 1 year from the ratification of this article, the manufacture, sale, or transportation of intoxicating liquors within the importation thereof into, I love these big-ass words, by the way, or the exportation thereof from the United States and all territories subject to the jurisdiction thereof for beverage purposes. This is prohibition. I take it. Section 2 is the Congress and the several states shall have concurrent power to enforce this article. Okay. Yeah, that's all that was. That was prohibition. The 19th Amendment, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be... Okay, this is the one where women got the ability to vote, was the 19th Amendment. The 20th Amendment... the 20th Amendment is the presidency and the vice presidency ends at 12 noon on the 20th day of January. But it used to be March 15th. And I don't know when they changed that. Because...
wasn't it Harding or was it one of the Roosevelts? I think it was the late 1800s or early, I think it was the early 1900s that it changed.
Yeah, because remember they were saying that we stopped at the night, whoever the 18th president was, that's when it changed. They actually changed it from March 15th to January 20th.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember why.
Okay. The Congress shall assemble at least once every year. Now, see, here's the thing. When they made the Constitution, when America first started, get this crap, all congressmen and all senators had other jobs.
Yeah.
And they got paid, I want to call it a stipend, every year
the stipend,
to do the job. Yeah, once a year. Okay? How the hell are these assholes making millions and billions of dollars when they only get paid, now they get paid a yearly salary, which is a load of crap, when they want people in the military to live on the shit that they live on? I can't live on $400,000 a year. Oh, I'm sorry. You try living on $20,000 a year. Then we can argue who has it rougher. So, in all honesty, I don't believe that they deserve to make what the money they make. They're worse than football players and baseball players.
Well,
they don't in basketball. They don't deserve to make. Huh?
I said originally the founding fathers, the idea was that people would they get the stipend, but it was basically a volunteer. So what they did was for, was it 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is that they're in session, they turn over their businesses if they own a business to, a family member or whatever, somebody else to control. They have nothing to do with it. And the only money that they got was stipends to pay for food and room and board while they were in D.C., because most of them had to travel, to D.C., so they were given a stipend for room and board, basically. And they did whatever it was that they had to do, and then they went back home. The Congress was not a year-round thing. It was a volunteer position. They went to D.C., unless there was an emergency, but basically they only went there once a year for a few months. And, unless there was some kind of emergency session. But it was never meant to be a career. They did not expect people to serve more than one term, possibly two. And then, so what's happening now is, back when the Congress and the Senate made the presidency only 2 terms because they didn't want it to become a dictatorship. And I can understand that. When they were asked, well, why not give the Congress, the Senate and the House terms, they were like, oh, no, you need to have experienced people. So that's why you have the same people in there for 50 and 60 years. How they get rich is not from the annual salary, even though I think the annual salary right now, depending on, when you enter and how long you've been in there, is between 165 and 240,000 or something like that. But you get permanent lifetime full 100% medical benefits. Not to mention the fact that
and you get paid after you get out.
Yes, even when you leave office, you still get 100% free medical. They still get a paycheck when they leave. Yes, they get a pension. Right. It's not the same amount because it's a pension, so it's, I think, 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it is, but they still get money. However, they still get now they get to go back into their businesses, which with their knowledge and everything are going to benefit. But here's the kicker. The reason they get so rich while they're in office, okay, is because of the PACs. Those PACs and those super PACs, that money is theirs. Or, also, too, their families are still making money. Look at Hunter Biden and Biden's brother. So, so they also have that money there.
You know how they make money, too? Look at Obama. They were broke. Actually, the Clintons were broke when he became president. They make money. Obama made billions of dollars because of the failed rollout of Obamacare. They had to keep paying. Where'd all that money go? It got money laundered to an account that they have. The same thing goes with these $2 trillion COVID packages that a museum in California just got $25 million. For what?
Right. No.
Because
Nancy
Pelosi owns it. No, because it's Nancy Pelosi. That's how the pork bills. That's how they make all their money. And I'm sorry, that should not be allowed. As a matter of fact, it should be. It should be. Here's the thing: the COVID relief package. We're going to use that for an example. Only 9% of that went to the American people. No, wrong. It should have been 100% of it went to the American people.
Well, no, 9% did not go to the American people. I mean, not those checks. 9% went to COVID relief, period. The rest of it went to other countries and garbage things.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. 9% went for here. And, no, we should not be giving friggin' money to Pakistan for gender studies. Sorry.
Oh, no, that was the prior bill. No, the Pakistan
but still.
studies, that was the one in December.
No, I know, but still, it shouldn't have been in there.
No, you're right.
Illegals should not be getting money. Now, here's what, I might just save this argument. I might save this part of the discussion for Thursday about all the children coming over. They're kicking children out of foster homes right now.
Oh, I know. I've seen
and they're putting illegal children in American foster parents.
Yep.
So, anyway, the 21st Amendment is... Okay, my dog... What the hell? Oh, my God. The 21st Amendment means that the 18th Amendment was repealed, and that was for prohibition. So that's how you can... they just made alcohol legal. That's all. And the 22nd Amendment, it has to do with the president. You can only be elected twice. And Congress and the Senate can make it a lifelong job like Biden of 47 years, and he didn't do shit. The 23rd Amendment...
I think Maxine Waters has been in 60 years.
Yeah, well, she's been in too long. She's been in 59 years too long. The district constituting the seat of government of the United States shall appoint for Congress. It says the number of electors. This has to go back to doing the electors for the presidency. Right. Okay. 24th Amendment. The right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or election. This has to do with everyone has the right to vote. This is now it's everybody. Okay. No. If you owe, it says by reason of failure to pay poll tax or other tax. So, yeah. But we don't pay poll tax. So it must have got repealed later on. Now, the 25th Amendment is another joke that Pelosi tried to use on Trump. Hold on a second. My dog.
They're getting ready to do that one on Biden.
Oh, I know. But I have another little tidbit of information that's going to make everybody laugh to prove that what we've been saying all along. So basically, it's in case the removal of the president of office from death or resignation, the vice president becomes president. And then if the vice president kicks it, the president can nominate a vice president until they can, but it has to be confirmed by a majority vote of both house and both houses of Congress. So, and then Section 3 of it. Oh, okay. So Reagan did this. Bush did it. Say this: the president has to have surgery. They have to relinquish over to the vice president, and that's what Section 3 is. Oh, okay. Same thing. Section 4 has to do with the vice president, and the Speaker of the House will become vice president. And that's all has to do with surgeries, illnesses, that they can't do their job. The 26th Amendment is the right of 18-year-olds to vote, and now they want to make it 16. These fuckers can't even. No, see, this is why 16-year-olds shouldn't vote. They eat Tide Pods. They snort condoms. They think they're 72 genders. They don't know if they're whatever. I mean, this is the reason why they should not be able to vote. They have no common sense, no life skills, nothing at all. If you cannot drink until you're 21 and be allowed to make that kind of life-altering decision, you should not be able to vote for president. Honestly, they really shouldn't make 18-year-olds allowed to vote until they're 21. Sorry. That's just my opinion because now if you're in the military.
No, I think, if they're old enough to be drafted, they should be old enough to vote for the assholes that are drafting them.
And the 27th Amendment is no law varying the compensation for the services of the senators and representatives shall take effect. Okay, whatever. So that was all that is. So that is all of the amendments to the Constitution. Okay.
Yeah, and they're trying to get rid of it.
Like I said,
I said, and they want to get rid of it.
Not all of it, just the First, Second, and Fourth Amendment. That's the ones they want to get rid of or change it. Now, here's the brilliance of it. I'm not going to start with the articles until next week because we don't have time to do the rest. Here's the thing that makes no damn sense. The left feels the Constitution is racist. How? It was written by a bunch of dead white men, and that's what I've heard. Okay. But the thing is, this was written way back when, and that's why they make amendments. See?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They repeal something if it's no longer so good, like they repealed prohibition. They repealed slavery. They allowed everybody to vote. So you add. See, that's the beauty of it. You can add to the Constitution or repeal something. But here's the whole thing. And I heard this, someone talk about this. America was found on Christianity. America. I know the Indians have their own religions, yes, and they still practice that. But America itself was formed on Christianity. Okay? There were no Jewish people here at the time. So, you know, but everyone, the way the Constitution is written, is everyone has a God-given right to a life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It's a God-given right. So nobody can tell you you don't have the right to do that. No, they're lying. So when all the atheists are all up in an uproar and butthurt about the First Amendment, if you don't like it, don't go to church. Don't like when people get mad when you pray in public for when they go to eat. And a lot of atheists get pissed off about that. That's your right to pray in public. You don't have the right to have a temper tantrum. Well, you do, but you're only going like an ass. But and so now that's why Satanists are complaining, and that's why they have Baphomet or Bahamut, whoever, their pedophile person, and that's why they complain. That's why they got a statue up now of him. Okay. Technically, they have the right. It's their religion. But do not tell us that we can't have the 10 Commandments up, or we can't have the Living Nativity up at Christmas. See, it goes both ways. Like Kwanzaa. Okay, that's what people in Africa celebrate. It's Kwanzaa, so now black people in America want to celebrate. That's fine. So they have the right to do anything that pertains to that holiday. And that's their right. Everybody has the right. If you're an American citizen, you have the right to do that. So you have now back in the day when I was in high school, we had a morning prayer and a Bible verse. Now, don't get me wrong. I went to school in Southeast Georgia. If you were not religious, it was called a moment of silent meditation. They didn't care if you sat and made a list of things you had to do at school. They didn't care. It's just a moment of respect. They do the same thing like I'm not saying all these mass shootings aren't real, but that's another discussion for later. But you know how they say we'll take a moment of silence for those who were killed in this, you know what I'm saying? It's like that. So I think I've rambled on enough. You guys got anything to add?
So I'm assuming you started out when I called in, I was a little late. I apologize. You were talking about the history of the Constitution and the amendments and what all was there. So right now they're trying to change things. Now my question is, the Constitution, it says specifically what we're supposed to, where the voting is controlled. It's the states that control it, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the 4th or the 14th? That's one of the amendments. I mean, they're trying to overwrite with this H.R. 1 bill.
Yeah.
So I know the same thing with the Second Amendment. Now, you've got a lot of states that they're putting on their books and their constitution, like Iowa just signed the legislation that you no longer need a carry permit for a gun. They're actually, I think it's Iowa, or is it?
Tennessee just signed it.
One of the states is even looking to start a Minuteman military thing, Minutemen, for the government itself. Rather, I guess, in addition to the National Guard, the Minutemen will be, I guess, solely for that state. I don't remember what state it was.
That's what your militias are. That's
right,
like the Oath Keepers, 3%ers, and all of that.
Yeah, but no, because those are individuals. They're not those are just individual groups.
Yeah.
The state that I was looking at is looking to create Minutemen themselves.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember where I saw it. What?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, a lot of the states now are going to the constitutional carry now. Tennessee just did. It was either Iowa or one of those states up there just signed it.
Iowa.
And Kansas did. I think Kansas did last year, I believe, or year. They just did it.
Yeah.
And they all should. And if they're going to try and take guns, you're going to see more and more states become a Second Amendment sanctuary state, like Texas. Now, here's the kicker. The shooting in Boulder, Colorado. Okay.
Right.
This is how stupid people are. Okay? They want to say that I saw the list of mass shootings with certain weapons. The jackass had a 9mm. No, what did he have? We went over that, Bobby. What was it? A handgun, or like the AR, handgun?
It was an AR-15 that he cut the stock off of, and made it.
But it was the handgun.
So that he can. Yeah, so that he can conceal it better.
Okay, because there was something about that they found out had nothing to do with an AR-15. I'll have to look it up again. But I think after we do the rest of the Constitution, it's up to you guys if you want to do it. I want to go over the list of mass shootings in the last 32 years in America. If you guys want to do that, it's history. And the truth of it. You know what I'm saying? Like the statistics of, because because people need to be aware of this shit. There was, where is it at? Oh, I think it was the actual site. Here it is. It has graphs, and then you go to the bottom, and it actually has the violent crime rate from 1990 to last year by crime and law enforcement, the number of forcible rape, and then it has the number of manslaughter cases, and it also goes by races, like black on black crime, white on white crime, black on white, white on black, and then it has the other like Hispanic and stuff, and then it has the crimes by how many black people were killed by cops. how many white people were killed by cops. And the reason why it's important is because more white people have been killed by cops in the last 5 years than black people have. And so and I know it doesn't fit the narrative of, you know, when a black person commits a crime and they get killed by a cop, it's like, you know, actually not a crime. No, like George Floyd. He was a career criminal. He OD'd on fentanyl. Okay? I don't care. What Chauvin did, it was wrong. Don't get me wrong. But he did not technically kill him. He OD'd on fentanyl, and it caused him to have a massive heart attack. It's out of convenience that Chauvin was there. Now, and that's the narrative that's going on right now. It's like an innocent person being killed by a police officer. See, they don't want to look at all those statistics. They just want to see who you know, and that's all it is. But I figure we go over all of that because it's all in and I'll send you the site. But it's really amazing how off the killings are from black to white. It's in the hundreds. I think it was 497 white people were killed by cops as compared to 138 black people in 1 year. You know, and then maybe we could go over, I guess, state by state, you know, of violence per state and who's got the worst, whatever. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. If you guys want to talk about it, let me know. Because it is hard to come up with all this information, you know, and ideas. Just throw something out there for me, and I am the research queen. I will find it. If it's the last thing that I do, and it probably will be. So, we didn't go any birthdays or anniversaries today? Yesterday?
I haven't heard of any for today or yesterday.
No.
All right, you slackers.
No.
Come on. I'm trying to think. I mean, we just anything to get people to participate more.
I do too.
Let's see. You know what? Let's do this because you just can't make this shit up. I'm trying to find something to talk about, to think of. Things that's still on the books. I kid you not. North Carolina.
Things that go bump in the night.
Yeah. North Carolina, it is still in the books. You cannot harpoon a whale from your vehicle. Yes, you know what? I am so surprised there was actually a law.
In Wisconsin, there's a law that you can't have a snowball fight.
In Tennessee, there's a law. In Tennessee, there's a law that a man must walk in front of the car when his wife is driving. And it's still on the book.
Is that true?
I would like that law.
Okay.
Wait a minute. There's a valid reason. It dates back to in the days when you were driving and you had to worry about a herd or something crossing the road while you were driving. So the man would walk in front of the car in order to shoo the animals away while the woman drove.
Wow.
I like my answer better. It's like the gas pedal.
And in Tennessee, you're not allowed to shoot a whale from your car. I guess you can harpoon them.
No, you cannot harpoon a whale from your car in North Carolina.
No, I said in Tennessee. And I'm like, what the hell is a whale doing in Tennessee?
Now, okay, I found the list of every single state and ridiculous laws that are still in the books. And so what I want to do is cover each state every show. Ha! That gives me some more bullshit. But I'm going to this is by the picture. A frog that dies during a frog jumping contest cannot be eaten in the state of California. Okay, I mean, that's just that. I'm going to start with, this is the, okay, so it says, wow, okay. So let me try to start with what state it is. So you could go on to dumblaws.com, and that's another place. So this site has gone over some of the dumbest things. Alabama, the city of Mobile may know how to throw down on Mardi Gras, but the use of plastic confetti is strictly prohibited.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't use plastic confetti.
I've never used plastic confetti, but
to carry, manufacture, sell, or handle any non-biodegradable plastic confetti is unlawful, according to the Municode Library. Sure. Oh no, that's all they have on their books. Okay, Alaska. I'll just go over a few because it's 22. Alaska. A person cannot get drunk in a bar and remain on the premises. Okay. So according to Alaska state legislator, the statute says an intoxicated person may not knowingly enter or camp out where alcohol is sold.
Okay.
Okay. I know. I mean, it's stupid. In 2012, police in Anchorage, Alaska, started enforcing the law by sending plainclothes officers into bars to identify excessively drunk people and arrest suspects. Wow. I can't believe it.
Wow. Seriously? They needed that? I guess they had the quota. They had to make their quota.
Oh, listen to this one. Arizona. No one can feed garbage to pigs without first obtaining a permit.
That's okay.
However, you can swap out the trough for a wastebasket if the swine are raised for your own consumption. Well, that makes sense, I guess. If it's to sell to the supermarkets and butcher shops, I guess. I don't know.
They have in other words, if you want to eat garbage, that's okay. You just can't feed it to anybody else.
Yeah, pretty much. So, in Arkansas, oh my God, a pinball machine cannot give away more than 25 free games to a player who keeps playing.
That's a weird law.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of that
It
law?
encourages gambling. No, it encourages gambling.
Oh.
Okay, so here's the thing for California about the frog. The frog must be destroyed as soon as possible. I'm telling you. The health code made its way into the books to protect competitors at the county fair and frog jumping jubilee. Yeah, okay. Wow. Okay, Colorado. I understand this because they're a liberal state, and I completely understand this one. You have to get a permit to modify the weather.
Okay.
How the flippin' hell are you going to modify the weather unless you're the government?
Well, no, you can see the. They're having people that have done it, unless they're talking about Indian rain dances. But yes, they're.
You know what it's talking about? You know what it's talking about?
Silver.
Snow.
You can shoot. Huh?
Fake snow at ski lifts.
Oh.
Ski resorts pay private companies to burn silver iodide on the slopes. The material carries into the clouds and stimulates precipitation, which creates a fresh sleet of powder for skiers.
Yes.
I guess.
So that's what I said. You can see the clouds. Yes.
In Connecticut, junk collectors may be out of luck in this state, and we're going to see why. I guess. In Hartford, it's illegal to collect rags, paper, glass, old metal, junk, cinders, or other waste material in the city without a license.
No. No, that kind of makes sense.
Well, I guess it does, but paper. Delaware, it is a misdemeanor to sell, barter, or offer the fur of a domestic dog or cat. But you could do it everywhere else, just not Delaware.
Really? I heard that somewhere else that you couldn't do that. You can't make.
No, it's only in Delaware, and you could get a $2,500 fine, and they could ban you from owning a cat or a dog, and or 15 years conviction. Wow.
Well, I guess what's her face from the 101 Dalmatians would not live in Delaware.
Okay, there must be a reason why that the state of Florida had to come up with this law. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
People who own bars, restaurants, and other places where liquor is sold may be fined up to $1,000 if they participate in or permit any contest of dwarf tossing.
Of what?
Midget tossing.
Midget tossing? Yes, it still goes on.
So you can't throw a midget out if they get drunk.
No. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It is not illegal. It is not illegal. They actually have a bar in North Carolina where you can toss
in Florida.
and bowl. Oh, in Florida.
No.
Well, but
yeah.
in North Carolina, you can toss a midget and you can bowl a midget. I've been there.
That doesn't seem very nice.
The bar's owned by a midget.
Florida outlawed tossing little people in '89 after the bar activity caught on in southern parts of the state. A Florida state legislator tried to repeal the law in 2011, but was unsuccessful. Okay. Now, I know other laws in Georgia, but I guess they're doing the main one, because I got some stupid ones for Georgia. In Georgia, those engaged in llama-related activities, such as riding, training, or goofing around at a county fair, are responsible for any personal injuries they suffer. Okay. Whatever. Okay, I get this. If you're dumb enough to bring your animal to a county fair and you let people ride on it and they get hurt, that's their fault, not yours. Well, I understand that one. It's just the way they word it. Okay, so here's the thing about Georgia also. In Hogansville, Georgia, it is against the law to spit on the sidewalk. Yeah. I only heard about that because I got in trouble. Not for spitting on the sidewalk, for something else. And the police chief told me about some stupid laws that Hogansville has. still on the books that need to go away. I'll do one more. In Hawaii, billboards have no place in paradise. They're outlawed in the state with a few exceptions, including notices from public offices and signs posted where goods are sold. So there are no billboards in Hawaii. Yeah, it dates back to 1927. I'm trying to think of what state it is. No sign, period. Restaurant, store can exceed the height of the restaurant because they said it's trashy.
Yeah, here I know here in Pennsylvania, signs. Now I don't know if it's a state law, but signs. It might be a county or city ordinance or whatever. But signs cannot be bigger than a certain thing. You know, like yard sale signs or somebody worked here type of signs that you put in your yard. It applies to. I think it also applies to campaign signs. There is some kind of ordinance. Like I said, I don't know if it's
Homeowners Association forbid you to have political signs up to a certain size.
Oh, I hate homeowners association. I will never live in a homeowners association.
Okay, this is going to be the last one, I swear. Idaho. Cannibalism is strictly prohibited and punishable up to 14 years in prison. I guess Jeffrey Dahmer didn't live in Idaho. Or, he must have. I don't know where he lived. So, however,
he was in Wisconsin.
Okay. However, the law is allowed under life-threatening conditions, such as only apparent means of survival. So, I don't know how that's like retarded, because what kind of weather does Idaho have? I mean, do they have mountain ranges like where blizzards are, and they don't get hurricanes because it's too far inland? I mean, I can see if you're stuck in the mountain and you like that movie with the plane crash. It started with, I can't think how many people. Oh, it's Alive. They got off the mountain with like 11 people. It started with like 20, I think. I can't remember. And in order for everyone to survive, somebody would they threw straws or something. I watched the movie, I can't remember. And they would kill that person and then pack them in ice and then eat them as they go along, however long it took. I don't know.
Oh,
but that's what the law.
The Donners?
Huh?
Are you talking about the Donner thing or the soccer team?
Oh, I can't remember, but it was called Alive, and it might have been the soccer thing. I don't know, where the plane crashed in the snow.
Yeah. And they became cannibals.
Team. I felt really. I mean, that's a true story, and the survivors. They had a lot of problems when they came back.
But that's what Idaho is saying.
Yeah.
But their weather.
I forget.
I'm sorry, but their weather doesn't.
Yeah.
Sorry, nobody can eat me. I'm too fatty. Bad for your health. So that's
no. You can't eat the fat people or the super skinny people. You want those people.
Well, I'm telling you, some of these laws are really stupid. Oh my God. I kid you not. But now this, like Indiana has one particular law, but it kind of makes sense. But I'll tell you about it tomorrow after the show. I have no idea what tomorrow's show is going to be on, unless somebody wants to give me a hint. Wow. These are some stupid laws.
I'll see if I can think of something, and I'll put it to you in Telegram.
Wow. There's a law in Kansas. I'm just going to go ahead because I'm flicking through them. It's illegal, or it was illegal to sell liquor by the glass in over 25 counties.
Wow.
Yeah, but after Prohibition, 15 years after they got rid of, then they were allowed to sell liquor by the glass. That's so
interesting.
So, yeah, I love some of these stupid laws. This. Wow. Yeah, we don't have enough time to go through all of them, so. Damn, I'm telling you. Wow. So, Bobby, go ahead and do your.
All righty. Again, ladies, thank you for being with us tonight. Kimmy, again, thank you for another great, informative show, as always. And I'd like to say good night to everybody. God bless America, our children, our veterans, our first responders, our troops. God bless the Defenders VII, and God bless you guys. And have a rest of a good night.
Good night.
And that is all.
Good night. Good night.